Bam, ba, bam, 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 ba, bam, 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 ba, 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 bam, bam, ba, bam, bam. But now people are starting to see it for themselves. Starting to see a bigger streamers start to transition to other games as well. It's rough out here for Apex. It's dying. It's at its lowest point it's ever been for content creators. I pay attention to the facts, so you guys don't have to. All you gotta do is come to my stream and get them. Apex viewership on Twitch is the lowest it's ever been since 2020. We talked about that yesterday. And it's only going to go downhill from here. There's nothing that they can do to revive this game, you know, unless they bring back original Apex. That's the only solution that I've been coming up with for the last year. And then Fortnite does it. See, somebody has to hire me on the back end for that, because I said a year ago, for this whole entire year, the only thing in my mind that made sense for me based on how the community has felt, because I've been immersed in that community for 5 years now, is OG Apex. Bring that shit back for a season. Call that shit retro. That's just what I came up with well over a year ago. Since they brought back in season 9, that was 2 years ago, they brought back the old maps, and I saw what bringing back the old maps with updated characters did for the community. They loved that shit, and I said that shit since season 9. And then we get hardcore evidence. Who knows if that would work, right? On a large scale experiment. But now we have evidence on Fortnite. Different game, different community, but still same battle royale. We have first-hand evidence of what, how large of an impact it could have by bringing back the OG version of the game. And that's the only thing Apex can do now. Unfortunately now, an advisor will work, yeah. Unfortunately now, you'll get the people, the trolls that say, oh, you're just copying Fortnite. And that's the that's the reality of it. But regardless, you got to make a move like that somehow, some way, whenever, and it's got to be soon. Got to be soon. Because with Fortnite, what's up, Mia? Fortnite's done, beautifully so, better than everything. Yeah, consult it. Better than everything else, chat. What has Fortnite done better than everybody else? I'll let you answer. Give me one word that Fortnite dev team has done better than anything else. The answer is their timing. Timing has been impeccable with Fortnite. Every time they have either predicted or felt that, yeah, we're hitting some lows right now, they have found a way to revive the game. Their game has skyrocketed to levels that nobody has ever seen before. And when it started dying, on the back end, they had to figure out ways to bring it back up. The first way being, what? No build mode. Skyrocket that shit. And then maybe they experience a little bit of another death again. Fuck that guy. And then they bring back what? OG Fortnite. And then they have the events too that they've always had. This recent Eminem event. They're so fucking good at what they do. Probably because they have the capital to do so. But something tells me... Oh wow, he just really quick me. Something tells me that their brains are just different. Stop yapping and drop a 20? Alright, bet. Fortnite needs to keep the old guns. They bring back a ranked and maps is good against. Bro, get rid of Broken Moon. And the reality of it is, the reality of the game is there are probably people out there that genuinely like Stormpoint. That's a dog shit map. It's the best it's ever been for ranked after fucking 2 years of that map. It's a dog shit map, okay? Now hear me out. Hear me out. All they have to do, OG Olympus. What the OG Olympus? I just got fucking smacked so fucking hard. OG Olympus, OG KC, OG World's Edge. That's all you need. Scrap Stormpoint, scrap Broken Moon. Because at the core of this video game, when this game is all said and done, why do I keep getting the same teammate? This guy's fucking horrible. When it's all said and done, nobody is going to remember Broken Moon and Stormpoint. Nobody is going to think of Apex and think Broken Moon or Stormpoint. They're going to think one of the 3 maps that I just mentioned. That's the identity of this game. We don't need anything else other than those maps. The biggest flops of Apex, where you could arguably make an argument that this is where the game started to die. when they made Storm Point and when they made Broken Moon. The only two maps that we've had in the last 2 years. And those are maps that, upon release, were hated immensely and still hated a lot to this day. You fucked up the game with these maps. Revert, go back to the original 3. Figure out some more LTMs to put into the game, like 3 strikes. Keep that shit permanently. I don't care if it divides the player base. Stop forcing us to have to play fucking ranked or pubs. Divide the player base, and you'll see how much your game is hated. Nobody wants to play ranked. Nobody wants to play pubs. Nobody wants to have to sweat their fucking dick off against cheaters and 3-stackers all day. What the fuck? And there goes my purple armor. Oh my god. And you have to question again, whose fault is it? Respawn, EA, they both share blame, right? But when it comes to decisions like 3 strikes, where you know it was good for your player retention, you know it was good for just the overall sentiment towards and attitude towards your game on social media, which matters a lot, because if all you see is hatred being spewed at towards your video game, nobody's gonna want to play your fucking video game. And so it would behoove them to take into consideration bringing things back like 3 strikes permanently. And you have to ask yourself, why is it that we have the perfect opportunity to solve a lot of the problems, and yet they don't? They have the solution, one part of it, many part solution right in front of them, 3 strikes, and they deliberately and intentionally, it seems like almost out of spite, get rid of it and kind of hang it over our head by bringing it back for 4 fucking days and then taking it away again.
Welcome to the shop. I've got just the thing for you.
We don't need these maps ever. Nobody will cry. I'm sorry. In the long term, not a single person will cry about not having Storm Point and Broken Moon. If it meant that we bring back the original versions of World's Edge, King's Canyon, and Olympus. And mind you, we haven't really seen original Olympus in a long time. I believe we saw a little bit of it for the when they brought back every map at night. They brought back all the OG maps at night. And that's at night though. It's not the same during the daytime. And you had all that Revenant ball shit being thrown at you, which was fun, don't get me wrong. I actually enjoyed playing pubs. Why? Because just like many others, it was the original maps. Because that at Apex's core is what Apex is all about. Even though it was at night and it was the LTM with the Revenant balls being thrown at you, people still were playing that shit a lot. And kills counted too. Because it was regular pubs. It wasn't so much the LTM. New Storm Point is actually great for ranked. I'll say it first. It's actually fantastic. And the changes they made to Storm Point were once again the changes that I said they needed to make for a long time. Again, why am I not hired? I don't know. You needed to find more buildings and create more buildings that are reminiscent of other maps like Olympus and World's Edge. Hence why we have places like Zeus Station now. Hence why we have places like Pylon. Hence why we have places like Echo. Devastated Coast. They give off structurally the same vibes that Olympus gives off. Maps that we know and love. Storm Point was never going to work. Places like Cascades, checkpoints are so they what's the word I'm looking for? Deviated so far away from what Apex meant at a structural level when it comes to the map making, that it was never going to succeed in the long term unless they start making it similar to what to the maps that we're already familiar with. Where's this guy going, bro? What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck?
Don't worry. I would have gotten you either way.
What up, Dex?
Zigged or zagged.
And so, as I was saying, at the end of the day, nobody's gonna bat an eye if we get rid of Stormpoint and we get rid of Broken Moon. And if people do, it would be the fucking minority, the ultimate minority of people. The 1 to 5% that might genuinely stop playing the game because those maps are taken out. But at least a greater portion of the community would be happy. And even more people would return if that was the case. Just like we saw with Fortnite. No need at all. Stormpoint is bad. Stormpoint is bad. Stormpoint is a bad map. It's better now. But at the end of the day, we can't make maps that are good for pubs and good for ranked. Because that's going to split the community. And it's going to divide the player base. Stormpoint is a great ranked map. It's a terrible fucking pub map. And many, many more people play pubs than they do ranked. So when you have maps like this in rotation for pubs, it's going to make people mad. Because again, at the core of Apex, what's the core of Apex? Besides the movement and besides the characters, it's smaller maps that are high intensity with POIs that we all know and love, that we grew up with when the game started, like Skulltown. The nostalgia factor is a very big factor for that. Hence why it was so successful for Fortnite, why so many people are playing that now. Fuck Stormpoint and fuck Broken Moon. Scrap them. And do what I'm saying. I hope somebody from EA is watching this. I'm trying to help you guys out for free. Listen to what I'm saying. You might sit there in your mind and think, maybe he's not right. Maybe it's not too feasible with what we have available. Just do it. And you will bring a surge, a huge surge back into the player base. And they will play for a long, long time. I've been in the community for 5 years. I've been involved in this community longer than probably 90% of the current devs working there. I have played more hours in this game than 100% of the devs working there. Indisputably so. There's not a single dev that has played more hours on this game than I have. It's time to start listening to people like me who know far more about your game than you do, because you were probably fucking working on Fortnite when Apex first came out. Whatever job you had in the first several years of Apex, you weren't here. Who was? I was. Just listen to me. And if I'm wrong, oh, we're back at square one. Back at square one, because what you're doing is wrong right now. Oh, but he gets a gun, chat. But he gets a gun. The way I see it, keep going the route that you're going, and you guys all lose your jobs because Apex dies, and you guys all get laid off because Apex is no longer making money. Or we take a chance.
Get ready. There's an enemy close.
I need help too. What the fuck? And all just 3 people just land straight on me. Oh my god, Becky. Oh, what the fuck? What's up, Wells? How you doing, bro? Why don't they put 2 map choice per rotation? They used to. Hey, yeah, somebody said we should have all maps in. It just doesn't make sense, bro. Imagine the session. Imagine a normal session if the average person plays for 3 hours, 2 hours.
There's 2 on my box.
Oh my god. Oh my god. GG's. You underestimate just how in denial both EA and Respawn can be? No, I don't underestimate that, because a lot of the time, like I said, I think a lot of what they're doing, but at this point, could potentially be just purely out of spite. It could potentially be purely because they don't want their egos to be shattered and admit their wrongdoings. And you can see this. Again, I don't make this up out of thin air. This is not just a speculation, although it kind of is. I see how the devs conduct themselves on social media and how they respond to players and how they responded to certain subjects within Apex for the last several years. And their tone is always a bit condescending. And we can understand that would make that would make the most sense too, considering how much hatred they get thrown at them. death threats that they receive, they've become a bit calloused. And understandably so. A lot of these casual players have no clue how these games are designed. They have no clue what it takes to, what it goes on in the back end of these, of anything that has to do with Apex. And so a lot of them do just speak out of their ass. And you can see a lot of these people that tweet at them, just the way that they word that shit tells me that they have no clue about anything that goes on. And the only thing they care about is themselves.
But I'll stay for the treasure.
So over the years, yeah, they've received a lot of shit, and up until this point, they don't even respond anymore. They don't even communicate anymore. And when they do, it's always a bit snarky and sarcastic and a bit bitter as well. I bring up these examples every time they've come up, but Hideouts in particular has been perfect with this when it comes to certain things that he says. He's received a lot of hate that has not been deserved, but the way that he responds, I don't think they know the influence that they have when it comes to their response. They have no PR team, clearly, because if they had a PR team, they would not be so responsive in the way that they are. It's almost like they don't think about how the things that they tweet, although it's just social media, how much of an impact that can have in the mood and attitude towards you in the entire game.
Enemy landed near me. I just can't resist me, can they?
Alaria, they're gonna follow Wells in my spins. What the fuck? He's just ratting here, bro. What the fuck? And the pub grime begins. EA ruined NBA Live and almost every other franchise it took over. Hey, I ask you a question. But here's the thing: Did EA handle Titanfall, or was that a Respawn thing in a different, or was it both of them? Heard Deleuze still owns you. Wells, would you like to get banned too, or what? I need to turn my AC off. Regardless, again, a lot of EA is blamed, but Respawn made Titanfall, and Titanfall 2 was an absolute shit fest. One of the biggest flops of all time. What happened with that?
What do you get for the girl who has
Apex will go down as one of the biggest flops of all time. Not financially speaking, but when it comes to never reaching its fullest potential.
This is your champion.
Oh, Apex was great. Apex, in 20, 30 years when we talk about Call of Duty, like we talk about Call of Duty, the old CODs, the old Halos, in 20 years when we talk about Apex, it'll be, oh damn, that was a good game, but it could have been so much better. And that's what tells me that this will go down as one of the biggest flops of all time. Bam, 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 bam. Bam, 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 bam. Bam, 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 bam. Bam, 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 bam.